One of the beliefs we have in school is a few, and I'll talk about them so that we can converge it into what we are doing at the Innovation Center. Um, One is it had to be a school which will invoke curiosity in and amongst children, and which is very much essential if one has to innovate. Second is we wanted to differentiate ourselves by way of encouraging students to be enterprising. Not necessarily that they will become an entrepreneur immediately after 12th grade, but I am happy to say many of them have become entrepreneurs, have been funded, they are in other countries and they are doing well, and even others are demonstrate entrepreneurial spirit in the work they do wherever they are today. If we had to do that, then we had to you have to break it down and do a lot many things. One is you need to provide students a lot of freedom, a lot of confidence and lot of motivation. Generally, when people talk about giving students in a school freedom, they talk about being disorderly. It is not true. Giving freedom, trusting them means they will be disciplined, and we have seen that in many events, including the event where N.R. Narayan Murthy came in. They were so disciplined, and he liked it so much, because usually school children shout on top of their voice, and then they rush all over the place, etc. They rush to the chief guest to get an autograph. It will be a chaos. Never happened. Not because we constrained them, we gave them the freedom and made to understand that it has got to be done in a certain way. Given that innovation is important for entrepreneurship, we decided to set up an innovation lab, fairly large one. I do not know how many square feet, maybe 30,000 square feet, maybe more. And we set it up as zones. We set it up as the first one as an inspiration zone, and the next one as an ideation zone, the third one as a testing zone, the fourth one as a prototyping zone, and later a construction zone, and then a validation zone, and then a demonstration kind of a zone, and then when they are old, a place for them to retire. So, that was the model we looked at, and we fortunately had adequate space disjointed. So, we could create these zones using partitions, and in each zone we made sure that all the relevant material which would help children meet the objectives of that zone were available. If you think of inspiration zone, you get inspired by a book, you could get inspired by a personality, you could get inspired by a film. There are so many things you could get inspired by. So, a good collection of all of them are available for them to come in teams, spend time, then eventually they will like something, and that will inspire them. Then go on, once they make a decision that this is an area which really is interesting, they may not say is inspiring yet, they are too young, they go to the next zone. The next zone is a zone where they start to ideate. So, there are ideation tools which are conventional tools to the idea tree kind of tools, 2 ideation tools on ideation tools software on PCs as well. There are many other tools of ideation. So, they ideate on what are the various things they could do in the area in which they have been inspired. After tossing around many ideas, they pick an idea and then move on to the next zone where they design it. Design is a question of attention to detail. It is a question of choosing the right kind of material, choosing the right kind of dimensions, choosing the right kind of equipment, etc., etc. So, all that is available in the design zone, and if they did not have a design equipment, they can even get one. Once they are designed, they will come up with a few designs, they will discuss amongst themselves, they will discuss with the facilitator, and once they finalize a design, they move on to a construction zone, where tools are available, machine tools are available. Everything that is available in an Atal tinkering lab is available. In fact, a lot more is available there, and they actually get to do work hands on in making different parts of whatever they want to build, and some of them can even be 3D printed. We have 3D printers in that area, and eventually when they are done with construction, they will go into a testing or a validation phase, where they want to make sure it is actually working as per their objectives, which gets defined during the idea stage. If it works, good, there is celebration, there is demonstration, etc. If it underperforms or fails, no problem, they jump back, they go back 1 or 2 steps and redo it. There are always facilitators available to nudge them in the right direction, maybe wrong selection of material, maybe a small flaw in the design, whatever. And then they kind of iterate on that and get to a stage where they are confident of demonstrating it, and that is when they will do a demonstration amongst their classmates, friends, and school children. The whole idea of doing this is well, you can actually provide instruction booklets on how to do some of these stuff and let them do it and provide all the facilities. But they will innovate and come up with ideas which even a facilitator or ourselves, we may not be able to come up with those ideas, because they are given resources and knowledge and they have to problem solve. One of the key things in innovating is problem solving and higher order thinking. So, to get into that zone, it is good that not everything is given to them on a silver platter and they just have to go and do it. So, that is the order, that is the objective of the innovation lab. And I think there are not too many innovation labs which are embedded inside schools. There may be 1 or 2 subsequently, but not of this size and magnitude. It is one of the very heavily used thing. The other thing I have to say is in relation to this, we have a learning design team of I do not know 50 people now. Dr. Chitra, Dr. Vatsala, astrophysics. There are so many people who are experts in different areas who are in the learning design team, they are dedicated. Now, the learning design team does 2 things. One, is help work closely with the teachers, one part of the learning design team. They work closely with teachers to help them come up with lesson plans, resources for lesson plans, and also activities teachers can perform in a classroom in collaboration with children. And then there is the other team which picks up a real world event and builds a complete learning experience out of that. And we have designed so far about 600 such events. And these events are run in the innovation lab, because every aspect of the innovation lab is used